getting stuck in the arm with a needle, of course. I know the Great White North, eh? We're following a little behind you US's down there. That was a terrible Canadian accent. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. But in particular, while I'm getting my vaccine, I thought it'd be fun and appropriate to talk about a Dogecoin, cryptocurrency, some Litecoin, Cardano, and why Elon Musk is primarily pissing off the entire crypto community. Now, of course, I'm going to offer you my humble opinion, but we got to backpedal a little bit, kind of build up to where we're at, because a lot of this started with Tesla basically saying that they are no longer accepting Bitcoin to buy Teslas, which didn't make any sense because they barely sold like, what, a dozen Teslas with Bitcoin through the whole promotion of it. And even though Tesla and Elon said they're not actually going to get rid of their Bitcoin, why are they stopping accepting it? Why are they causing this volatility in the crypto market? Well, there's something that Kevin O'Leary mentioned came down to the actual way that Bitcoin gets mined, because it takes a lot of energy, and they're realizing that the majority of Bitcoin being mined is in China, where they use a lot of coal plants. They don't have a lot of regulations around carbon emissions, and it's basically just become this political rhetoric around companies saying, hey, if you guys are accepting Bitcoin, you got to understand that you're polluting the crap out of the world. And I don't know if this is as much of an Elon decision as it is maybe a committee decision behind Tesla, but it didn't really make a whole lot of sense, because, you know, if Elon still plans on buying it or using it as a transactional means for Tesla, it kind of defeats the purpose, because that's where all the transactions for the company are actually happening, not in the sales of the car. So that didn't make a whole lot of sense in the first place. But then you got to move up the ladder to Elon basically saying, hey, we're going to open the door to find other cryptocurrencies and maybe find another way of basically accepting the currency you're using it, which also doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because it all kind of operates through the blockchain. Even though there might be some that mine with a little bit more efficiency, it still kind of resolves to the same problem, which is it still needs to be mined. And you're going to think conclusively that over time, as we move to natural energy, this is a problem that will eventually just solve itself. However, he's now pushing the idea that maybe we can just use Dogecoin, and he's working with the developers, and he's been tweeting this, that they're gonna, I don't know how he's gonna work with the developers to change it, because Dogecoin is not the greatest cryptocurrency, and a lot of crypto experts kind of line up to agree with that statement, because basically there's gonna be an endless amount of Doge printed right now. There's no limit to how much Doge is going to exist. It's basically exactly like the USD. It's just every time someone buys one, there's like tens of thousands being mined every hour, guys. So it takes a lot to push Doge up even to the levels that we're sitting at. And now it's like, how are you gonna change it, right? Like, wouldn't it be more sensible to go and focus on, you know, crypto that actually has a leg to stand on when you're talking about things with smart contracts, with things like Cardano or things like Litecoin that are going to have real world purposes, maybe even in the music, the art industry, similar to like NFTs. And it's so odd that a guy that seems so brilliant, and the fact that this is such a new evolving space, that he's leaning more toward the meme culture than he is the practicality culture of the crypto space. So there's this big divide happening between this joke coin and the real cryptocurrencies, which we're seeing. Again, go look at the chart on Cardano, guys, against many of the other cryptos. Like, it's doing phenomenally well, but we don't hear those stories anywhere really, because Doge has kind of like put a big sheet over everything that's going on. Now, more in particular, let me talk about why I think Elon is going down the Dogecoin route. Now, Elon said that, like, if you really want to control the media, you kind of got to control the meme sphere, and it's not like quote for quote, and I cannot arguably attest this, but somehow I think this is a combination of just the fact of reality and him trying to merge with the meme culture in and of itself, because I just don't think Elon, with the intelligence that he has, would just be leaning in to Dogecoin, other than it is become the living meme of the entire crypto space. And a lot of people hate this, guys. They just despise it, but it's the same thing with GameStop. I actually am 100% for this. I think a lot of people get into this, they end up losing a lot of money, and a lot of people associate it with gambling, and the fact that this isn't a good way for people to find their way into the market by speculating on basically meme jokes. But I'm a huge fan of meme culture, and I think it's been one of Elon's greatest feats, is being able to lean into that, because a lot of CEOs won't. To a lot of CEOs, memes are a joke. They don't want to be a part of joke culture. They think it's crude, it's not professional. But honestly, as Elon says, guys, like, you want to be in the meme world, the meme sphere, to be a part of relevancy, and to basically not have to pay to promote your own product, because Again, name one CEO of any other car company. You can't. Lamborghini, Mercedes, Audi, name the CEO. That's right. I mean, nobody really can, right? But even putting that fact aside, guys, like I said, I think this is a combination of, we have political rhetoric. We probably have committees lined up that are arguing about the efficiencies of where crypto is being mined and how they can deal with it. And then you have the fact of meme culture coming into play, and the fact that Elon would rather lean into meme culture than what is prevalently boring and relevant, right? Which being Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano. So I'm curious to how he's going to work with the developers to basically change Dogecoin. And I don't know how easy it is to operate or upgrade these currencies after they've been released, because again, Dogecoin's an inflationary mechanism. They print more every time you mine it. So you got to be a little bit cautious of the idea that over the long term that it should deflate in value after the max hype has been reached. But at the same time, if you can change those mechanisms and keep the meme culture surrounding it, and you'll get it on the moon and get this thing continuing and its momentum, like it could easily become what Elon said, right? Like sometimes, what does he say about history likes irony sometimes, and sometimes the joke coin becomes the real coin. And if that comes into fruition over the next 5 to 10 years, I don't think a lot of people in the crypto space are going to be primarily happy. And I also don't think that's largely how it's going to unfold, because there has to be use cases for this stuff. And right now, a store of value isn't going to be enough in the long term, in my opinion, to keep the crypto space alive. You need things like Cardano, like Ethereum, even though Ethereum has a lot of issues with it still, because those things are what's going to get adopted into use cases. And I can give you one simple use case. Let's say you're a musician and you're going to release 1 million pieces of your album, all right? You're going to release 1 million records of this album, and you're going to do it through the blockchain. You're going to do it through something like an NFT. So that way, every single person that buys a piece of your music has an original piece of it. There's no way to replicate it, and everybody knows that you have an original art piece. So that way, as over time, things get pirated, there'll still only be, say, those 1 million albums that are registered on the blockchain. And then you can resell it, and every time you resell it, the artist can get a commission from that. And it's just a way more intelligent way, in my opinion, of not only dealing with art, but we're going to see this deal with the back end of how the stock market works with clearing houses. As Vlad from Robinhood has mentioned multiple times that they want to try and find a way to adopt blockchain technology. I mean, we're going to start seeing this. This is why blockchain, crypto, Bitcoin is worth trillions of dollars, guys. If you haven't figured that much out, it's going to start slapping you upside the head with some real realities coming up soon. And it's just progressively becoming this bigger and bigger thing. We're now seeing even the likes of Dumb Money starting new channels with people from TikTok that are trying to experiment with Dogecoin and used it to even purchase a ticket to the Mav games, and even was able to talk to Mark Cuban, which was really awesome. I always suggest you guys go look at these new creators that Dumb Money's been introducing to their platform. But putting all of that aside, guys, I don't think people should be getting as frustrated as they are about this. This whole new space is evolving. Go back to when Facebook and social media first became a thing. MySpace was a $400 million company, largest in the space, doesn't exist anymore. So I can imagine most of what we're hearing about in the next 5 to 10 years may not even exist. So honestly, if you guys want to get into the crypto space, usually a diversified portfolio is the best. For me, however, I just picked the best, guys. I think Bitcoin represents what started the blockchain. And even though I don't think its use cases are going to be much better than a store of value in the crypto space, I still would rather just own that in the near term, because I can just see the outcome potential of that always being the logo behind blockchain. And like I said, until things work themselves out and we get like another clear winner or something surpasses, say, Bitcoin, I'm just going to be optimistically cautious about the entire space just until we start seeing a further evolution. Now, I am where I need to be here, so I might take a few shots, show you guys that I am in fact getting my vaccine, which I'm so ready for. I'm so tired of this crap. Since I lost my job back in literally March, I watched $15,000 plus worth of contracts dry up overnight, and I'm just tired of this stuff, guys. I'm ready to move on with my life, so let's get her done.